Hi, my name's Gavin. I'm one of the co-founders of Feedsy, and thank you for joining us today. Unfortunately, my other co-founder, Steve, can't make it today. He's got a family commitment that he has to attend to at the last minute, so I'm going solo today. So today we're going to be covering, I guess, how to future-proof your business, some methods to future-proof your business. I guess to define future-proofing, I guess, according to Wikipedia, it's the process of anticipating the future and developing methods of minimizing the effects of shocks and stresses of future events, which I guess we've just been through. So I guess some of the things we've actually noticed is a lot of people have been very, very busy, especially in the insurance industry. I guess dealing with people trying to change their plans or trying to work out how to maybe claim business losses. So I guess what we're all about is trying to save people time. And that's what we're going to be doing today, is looking at ways of saving you time. So this is myself here and Steve. Just a bit about us. This is back in June 2012. It's actually a reenactment. Steve and I were both coaching our son's footy teams together. Oh, he's my assistant footy coach, and we had coffee to see what we're doing, what you're doing with your life, I suppose, with your jobs and so forth. And Steve had left AMP as state marketing manager. He was there for 20 years as a state marketing manager at AMP, and was now helping advisors with their marketing, so helping small businesses. And I actually had been an owner and co-owner of some agencies that had grown in size, and we're dealing with some very large clients. And I'd sort of had enough of working with big clients. I wanted to sort of work again with smaller clients. So I sort of got out of that and got involved with Steve and some other startups to sort of help small businesses out. And over a coffee one day, we sort of said, Steve, what are you up to? And he goes, I'm trying to help advisors communicate with their clients on their mobile phones. They're really time poor. They're afraid of doing the wrong thing. And they're really worried about compliance. So I went, I've got an idea. In my agency land, I've been helping big clients do content marketing. Maybe I can actually work it away to doing it for small businesses for a smaller fee, sort of almost like white labeling the product. So that's where Feedsy came from. It came from basically a need, and our two minds coming together using my brand and my marketing skills, and I guess Steve's industry knowledge to bring this to market. So I guess over the years, we've sort of, with some people see communication hurdles, we only see possibilities. So today I'm going to show you some ways of coming over some communication hurdles. So today's agenda, we're going to basically look at some things here. We're going to look at Calendly for automated bookings. We're going to look at email automation, which is Feedsy. Also some social media content with Feedsy, plus there's a special offer at the end as well. And I'm going to be going through some live demos, even how to set these up and how to use them. So it's going to be quite practical, quite hands-on. And also, I guess we'll go through some of the fees for these things as well. Now, just disclosure here, so Feedsy is us, so we are showing our thing, but Calendly is something we have no financial attachment to. Calendly is a product that we use ourselves, have been using for a long time, and has brought us a lot of joy. It's such a great product, and it's a really easy way of automating your bookings. So we're basically showing something that we love and we use ourselves. So so there's no money, there's no commissions or anything for Calendly. Calendly is just because we love it. Okay, so Calendly. So we'll start with Calendly. So Calendly makes it super easy for people to book a meeting with you. So it sort of gets around all the argy-bargy of emailing, when you're available, or when are you available, or when are you available, and having these sort of almost playing email tennis, just try to get a meeting organised. So Calendly makes it super easy. If you haven't seen it already, here's how it looks in action. So I've got an example here. This is actually my Calendly. So if I wanted to invite someone to something, and I click on a link, I'd see the diary for the next month. They'll see all the available days that are available. They can go through months in advance to see other ones as well. You can also limit how far in advance it goes. And say I want to make a booking for, say, tomorrow. So I'll click on tomorrow and has all the available times in my diary, and I book a time, say for 1:30. Confirm that. Put in my details. Maybe if you ever have a question, like how can I help you in this meeting, so you can actually ask a question so you know what the meeting's about. If somebody asks you for a meeting, at least you know what it's about. I can also add guests to the meeting as well, schedule the event. What that does then, it gives me a confirmation email with a link to the meeting. It also goes into my calendar, so you can also put it into your calendar, which gives you a reminder, which you can set as well. It also goes into your calendar as well. So basically, both people have, there's a convenient time for both people, goes to both calendars with the reminders, and it's also super simple. You can determine whether the meeting is going to be a face-to-face meeting or an email meeting, or even a Zoom meeting, or a phone meeting. So you can determine what sort of meeting and where the location is. In this case here, it's going to be done via Zoom. What will happen is the Zoom link will be included in the invitation. So you would click on the Zoom link and go straight to the Zoom meeting. So that's basically how it looks from the end user's point of view. Now, a quick question. Do you currently use anything like Calendly to automate appointment bookings? So maybe just so I can get a feel for what people are doing out there. Do you use Calendly at the moment? Do you use anything like Calendly, or do you use nothing like? Do you have nothing at all like Calendly? So maybe can you see the poll there? I just launched the poll. I forgot to launch it. Sorry. So if you can see the poll there, maybe just let me know which one of those apply to you. Because if everybody's already used Calendly, I won't go into too much detail about it. But if you haven't used Calendly before or nothing like it, I'll go through it in more detail. So anybody got a response there? Okay. All right. Looks like most people haven't used anything like Calendly, which is great because I'll be able to show you something brand new today. You'll learn something brand new. Okay, I'm going to end the poll there. Okay. All right. So how does Calendly work? How to set it up and how to use it. So I'll go through this very quickly. So this is a quick, I guess, a diagram about how it works. So I showed you before how you can sort of find a time and make a booking. As I said, you'll get a confirmation that the booking's been made. This is the person booking it themselves. You're going to get an email, which you can then add to your diary. And if you do it via Zoom, the Zoom link will appear there as well. So if you're using Zoom, it's really easy to integrate with Zoom, but also integrates other things as well. And then you get email or SMS reminders X amount of days or hours before, and you can determine what that's going to be as well. Often I find the defaults are quite good, but you can override the default so that you can say you get a reminder 2 days before and maybe 1 hour before, or both. So that's basically the workflow. So that's what somebody sees. They actually get this great experience where it's all automated. You do nothing at all. All you do is give people a link, and then it can work. So what I'm going to do now is show you how to set that up. It's quite easy. The first thing you got to do, I guess, is when you start an account, you got to create a profile, which is basically you put a photograph up there. You can put your email address and so forth. You can integrate it with Zoom if you're using Zoom, but you only have to do that once. And then you basically create an event or clone an existing one. If you've got one that you like, you just want to change it a little bit. You give it an event type, whether it's going to be a one-to-one or a group meeting. So one-to-one means if someone has booked a time with you, no one else can get in. But if it's a group one, it means that, so I use it for my training sessions. We don't mind having more people attending the group sessions than just one person. So it means if somebody books a time, another person can also book over it as well. So you get multiple people in the same group. So you can choose if it's a one-to-one or a group meeting. You can give it a name, description, and a location. You decide actually when. So which is basically time and day ranges. So what's happening with Calendly, it looks at your calendar and it sees when it's available. So you never basically double book yourself. So it looks for available times, and then basically it makes a time in your diary once it's booked, and then the time's no longer available. You can also create space around your entries as well. So you can say, look, I want to have a half-hour buffer zone before and after, so that you can't. So if your meetings go over, it doesn't cross over another meeting. So you can also control, I guess, the buffer zones around your meetings. You can also have invitee questions. So the question before was, what do you want to cover in this meeting? But the question could be anything, or there could be no question at all. It could be just completely just name and email address. Then you can set your notifications. Often the default ones are fantastic, but you can choose what it says in the notification, both in the calendar on the email reminder, and also the reminder that they get as well. And then there's a confirmation page as well, which is basically the page somebody sees once I've made the booking. And then you can always edit it whenever you need as well. So you always change these meetings if you need to. Like for instance, if you next Wednesday you've got like a PD day or something that you can't, that your diary's been blocked out, you can basically go into here, either block out your diary and it would block it out here, or you can go into Calendly and just block out that day as well. We find it just as easy if you maybe keep Calendly the way it is, just go to your calendar and just block out days then if it's not available. So you go busy for the whole day, then Calendly won't book you that day because your calendar says you're not available. So the beauty about Calendly is you set it up and you basically use your calendar to manage your availability times. So let me show you how this looks. Oh, by the way, you've already seen the chat feature in Zoom. If you've got any questions, just chuck them in the chat and we'll try to answer them either now or after the webinar if I can't get to it now. So if you've got any questions at any time, just write them in the chat thing and I hope I can help you. All right, I'll keep going. So this is, I guess, the dashboard of Calendly. So this is the home page of Calendly. You can see here I've got 6 different kinds of meetings. Some people just have 1. You don't need to have 6. We have a 50-minute option, a 30-minute option, or a 60-minute option. So it gives people, they don't have a quick chat with me. They only book a 15-minute one. So the diary doesn't get blocked out for a whole hour. It's just for 15 minutes. These are one-on-one chats. You can see here it says one-on-one, there. Here's our group Feedsy training. So we use Calendly for our trainings. It's a group session for an hour. There's a phone call one-on-one, so people might just want to give me a call, maybe book a phone call if they're finding it hard to catch each other on the phone. And also maybe a group online meeting. Just that's more of a miscellaneous one that we have there. What I want to do now is show you how to create a new event type. Actually, before I do that, I'll quickly show you the profile. So this is up here an account here. This is quite normal. Most software has account as being where you do your profile. This is where you do your account settings. So you can sort of change your photograph. You can change your photograph, update it there, your name, even the welcome message. This is the message you see above. This is the message you see. If you go back a stage, you'll see. Actually, it's in the home one, so it actually displays here normally. And then you've got the date format, so what you're familiar with, and your time zone. So it's all consistent with your calendar. And you can have branding, so you can actually put a logo in there if you want to. And you can sort of put in your special links. This is basically the URL you give people. So it's calendly.com/whatever you want it to be. As long as it's available, it has to be a unique one. So it can be your business name or your personal name, but as long as it's unique and no one else in the world has got it, you can use it. Now, one of the cool things about the Zoom, Calendly, is you can integrate it with Zoom. So there's lots of integrations you can do. So if you are using Zoom, what you can do is actually go to Zoom here, and basically, if you're already in Zoom, I've already done this already, so I can't do it again because it's already connected because I use it all the time. But if that wasn't connected, it's pretty good actually at finding Zoom. It actually will find Zoom automatically, and you better go, yes, add my Zoom to here. It's pretty good, but it might ask you a few questions. It might ask you to put in your login details or a key. If it does so, you just enter them in here and you're away. But once you've done that, every time you book a meeting, which I'll show you in a minute, once you create a meeting and Zoom is the way you want people to meet, it's really fantastic. Basically, what happens is people will book the meeting, when they then basically sends off a meeting to Zoom. So when you go to Zoom again, you better set where your meeting is booked in Zoom. So when you click on that link there, that's the exact link between you and that person. It's really fantastic. And the person who gets a calendar invite will have the Zoom link in the calendar invite. So they click on that and they go straight to the meeting. So it's a really secure way of having everything in one place. And it's really easy for you too. You don't have to copy and paste anything over each time. It just does it all for you automatically. So I'm now going to go, so this is how you do integrations with Zoom, but there's other integrations as well. So you can explore those too. So if you're using other ways of doing your meetings, there are other integrations as well. So you can just explore those integrations here. So what I'm going to do now is create a new event, like I said before. So I'm going to create a new event. And I'm going to do, let's see, I'll do a one-on-one meeting. So I'll do a one-on-one type. So this is only where one person can book at a time. And I'm going to give the event a name. I'm going to call it, let's see, a 1 hour meeting. It can be called anything you like. Location. Now, this is where if it's going to be a physical location, this is for people booking you, in your office. That way, the location gets put into the calendar, so they actually got they can Google Maps and find you. So you just put a location in there. It could be a phone call, but I'm going to use Zoom because Zoom's already in there. So we'll go Zoom, and I don't need to do anything else. The whole system takes care of it for me. I can do extra description here, descriptions, instructions, and that's basically what you saw here. That's what those descriptions are there. And then that's the link. So it actually takes the name here. So now the link for this meeting is calendly.com Feedsy/Gavin, or whatever you've decided to put there, and then that goes there as well. Now I can change it to anything I like, but by default, it basically grabs this up here. So you can call it something else if you like, and you go next. So far, so good. You can choose how long the event goes for. I've said 1 hour, so I should do 1 hour there. And what it does, it's gone to my calendar. So when you actually sign up for Calendly, it actually asks you for your calendar link. So it actually links up with your calendar automatically. So that's done when you first set up. The basic, and I'll go through the fees later on, but the basic plan is for one calendar, but you can get bigger plans which has multiple calendars. So you might have 2 calendars, or maybe you might have a group calendar for your office where maybe you want to have different people can get chosen for a meeting, not just one person. So the different plans, the different sizes of calendars basically. So what happens is, by default, it does 9 to 5. It's saying 9 to 5 only. Anything that's available in my diary, 9 to 5 will be okay. But you might go, like on Mondays, I pick the kids up from school, so I'm going to make that only till say 2 o'clock on that day. And what you can do, you can apply it just to that day here, or all Mondays. So all Mondays you pick up the kids from school. So therefore, on all Mondays it's going to be 9 till 2. So it's pretty easy to change. So you can see all the Mondays have changed there. But you go, oh, next Wednesday I'm definitely out. While I'm here, I might as well do it. I'm just going to say I'm unavailable that day, and just for that day only. So now that day's unavailable as well. But likewise, your diary had all day unavailable or busy, but even though it's got 9 to 5 here, nothing will be available when people go to book it. So when people go to book it, the whole day will be, you can see these days here are unavailable. So those days won't be available because my diary says it's not available. All right, so that's how you can sort of, put your availabilities in there. So you can actually limit what part of your diary it's looking at and looking for available times. It's pretty cool. So next. So you just basically just go top to bottom. So you've done that. Now you're going to go invitee questions. Now this is where you may have no invitee questions. It might just be all I want to get is name and email. Now the mandatories, but if you want to, you can ask a question. They've got a question here. Please share anything that you will help prepare for our meeting. So that's a default question that's there. But if you want to, you can get rid of that. You can just delete it. Just delete the question. You don't want it. You don't need to have a question. This is optional. So you're basically just going from top to bottom. What the event is, when it is, the invitee questions, notifications, and cancellations. So we recommend just keeping these as default. They're actually pretty good. But you can personalize the calendar invitation. So you go personalize. And it's just grabbing all stuff from the meeting information. So it's basically creating the invitee full name and your name. And then it's got the event name, which is a 1 hour meeting, event description if you've got one, location, which could be the Zoom or your office address or by phone, and then you might have those questions and answers. So basically reiterates the question that they've answered in the question up here, invite your question. But you can change those. You can put extra text in here. You can actually delete these things if you don't want those things to be displayed. So you might maybe not want to show the questions and answers. You can just delete that. So it's quite easy to edit it. But these are what's called short code, and it's just basically grabbing and stuff from the Calendly invite. You also can switch to, so that's basically changing what's seen in the calendar. This is what people see in their calendar, but you also can change what people see in their emails. So people get sent an email as well as a calendar. Again, you can change what people see, in the email. So see confirmed, the event name, and so forth. So you can change those things if you want to, but I recommend keeping them just as default because they're pretty good. And again, it's got all those things here. Hi, the person's name, your event, blah blah, with this person at this time, blah blah blah. So it's all. I reckon leave it as default. I reckon there's no reason to change these. But if you want to say I don't want to have that there, or maybe the location, I don't want to have the location or whatever, or the event description, get rid of that. It's up to you. But you can. I recommend leaving it as default. It's pretty good, I reckon. I reckon leave email cancellations like they are. That's basically if you cancel the event, it'll have a default message as to why you're cancelling it. But yeah, you can always send an email as well, I suppose. Email reminders. Now, email reminders are off by default. I recommend having them on. So put them on, and then you can personalize it. So you can personalize it. Main thing you're going to personalize probably is the timing. Is it 24 hours before? You might go, I want to add another one, which is maybe 1 hour before. So you actually add multiple reminders. But again, you don't need to change these things here, but you can if you want to. Email follow-up. This might be an email that you want to send automatically after the meeting. So if your meetings are all the same, so say the meeting type was, I don't know, book a demo, or I don't know what it might be. Let's say it's book a demo. Then you might have a consistent follow-up saying, hey, I hope you enjoyed the demo. Let's catch up again. Or here's a link for the special offer or something. So I don't use this one myself, but I know some people do use it. So you can have an automatic email follow-up after the meeting if you want to, but you don't have to do that. Now, if this is on the basic plan, but if you want to, you can also send text reminders, so people can get an SMS reminder. That's only on certain plans. I think I do it here, it won't allow me because I'm on a different plan, so I can't do it. And if you do it, obviously you need to collect their mobile number when they're requesting a meeting too, so you're going to have name, phone number, and email, not just email. So you can see it's pretty easy. You don't need to change too much. Probably anything when you want to change is the email reminder and have that turned on, and maybe do a day before and an hour before perhaps. That's the only thing you want to probably do to override it. So it's pretty easy. Confirmation page. This is the page people will see as soon as they've booked it. They'll see it on their screen. So again, this is a display Calendly confirmation page. This is basically the default page that has the information as I showed you before. But you also might go, no, when they book a meeting, I want them to actually then go to our website to do something or go something else. So you actually can go, no, I don't want them to see the confirmation page. I want them to see something else. I want them to go somewhere else. So it depends on your workflow, what you're doing. But again, in most cases, Calendly, the default settings are perfect, so don't need to change that. If you're doing, if people are paying to see you per hour, like they're paying for that time, you can also do a payment thing there, which is basically where you integrate with one of your online payment gateways, maybe Stripe or something like that, and you can collect credit card payments. This is probably going to be unlucky for you guys, but you can also do that as well if you want to. So you actually get a payment when they invite you, when they do an invitation, they also can do a payment as well. After they do this stage here, there'll be a payment thing with a Visa card. All right, so that is how you do a page. You can do a live preview here. This is actually how you can just see how it's looking. This is my page I've just created. There you go, 1 hour meeting, web conference, no description, kept it really nice and simple. And there's my availability times. You can see Wednesdays aren't available in my normal diary, and I've blocked out another day as well. So that's basically how it looks. So you can do a preview of it. And if I go back now to home, or go up to home up here, you'll see a new meeting being added. There's my 7th meeting there. Now, if people have scheduled an event with you, you can see them here as well. You can see all the events people have scheduled. These are different schedules I've got coming up. You can see who's coming, go to the details and look at who's coming and how they're meeting you. You can also edit the meeting too by clicking on the cog. The cog goes to edit, so you can edit the meeting, go and change some settings. But also, you can also embed this into your website. So you can add it to your website. So you can also determine whether you want to have that thing there I just showed you, inside your page. Maybe it's a button. Maybe it's a link on your website. When you click on the button, it pops up with a calendar invite, or it could just be pop-up text. So basically, that's just text there. And when you click on the text, it pops up. Using my hands here, a link here pops up, or it's just part of your website. We actually use this ourselves quite a bit. So I'll show an example of that actually. I'll show you like on our website. So I'll go to feedsy.com.au. We have book a demo or get started. We've got different things we've got here, but you go book a demo here. We've basically got a page which has 2 of our Calendly side by side. So this is 2 embedded. There we go. That's Steve's embedded diary, and that's my embedded diary, because some people want to one or the other. But yeah, that's basically my embedded, and that's his embedded. So you can see you sort of bring it into your diary, so it's basically in your branding and everything. So it just functions like it normally would, but it's done inside your website. So it's really easy to do that. It basically gives you some code. Where am I? I'm over here. No, I'm not over here. No, I'm not. Where am I? I've lost myself. Okay, I'll go here again. I'll go to add to website, go continue, and then basically there's the code there. You basically give that to your developer and they drop that code into your website. It's pretty easy. All right, so that is how you sort of set up Feedsy, and also yeah, to get the link to the website as well. So there's the link there. So you want to put the link, give the link to someone for a meeting, go copy link, paste it into an email, say there's how you book a meeting with me. I use it all the time. Rather than going, when you're available next week or this week, just give them the link and they can see when you're available. Go, here's, find a mutual time for us both to catch up. Here's a link to find that and to book it really easily. And say it's really easy because it is really easy. Okay, so that's how to get a link. So again, how this might look in your world is, again, you might sort of link, like on our footers, we say find a convenient time. That's a link to a Calendly thing. We actually put it in our, this is our email newsletter template that we use ourselves for our own clients. We put a link in there. Some people don't do that, but you can put a link in there too. So people can always see, they can contact you or maybe book a demo or chat. There's before this, you add to your website and you basically can embed it into your website as well. So there's different ways you can use the Calendly link. It's pretty cool. All right, so what do you guys think of that? Maybe give me a thumbs up or a chat whether you think that's a pretty cool thing. Cool, excellent. All righty. So what I might do, I might keep going on. So also, I should have told you first at the beginning, I'm going to give you this slide deck, which has all the links as well. So there's even a link there of how to do embedded code. So don't need to take too many notes. I'm going to give you the slide deck. We're also doing a recording of today's webinar too, which will probably be available tomorrow. It takes a while for the video to get uploaded and so forth. So we get a video as well as the slides. Okay. Feedsy. So we basically help businesses engage more in less time with monthly email newsletters, automation, and also weekly stories for you to share. So we do two things with Feedsy. The two main things we do is an email newsletter as well as giving you great content to share. So I'll show you an example of how this might look. This is actually one of our clients, Pilot Wealth. This is their email newsletter. So I've got it in my web browser here, but normally they'd be in your inbox. It's personalized with the person's name. It's got links to their contact page, which we find actually is one of the most popular buttons. It's a really good way of getting people to contact you by monthly sending them great information, and people go, oh yeah, that's right, I've got a call Pilot about something, and contact. Even better, it could be a link here saying book a time with Calendly, and you can see there's 10 stories here. So there's 10 stories that they get sent every month. And it has all this disclaimer information down there. It's obviously got privacy policy. It's got, that's my mother-in-law. Yes, I'm working from home. So the dog was barking. People can unsubscribe from the list too, so it's very compliant with anti-spam laws. And people can also update their subscription preferences too, so people can change their email addresses if they wish to. So it's all compliant. And if you click on a story here, so let's click on the story here, view more, it goes off to their Feedsy page, which is their Feedsy web, or where their news stories are kept. And this is Pilot's Feedsy web. So this is where the story is read. So people read the stories here. So if you're driving traffic back to your websites, and if you go home to the news web pages, all the stories are here. So this is basically all the stories that I've got to choose from. So you might go, oh, what other stories are here to read? Likewise too, if you click on the story here, you might go, oh, some other stories down here as well. So there's other ways of seeing stories. You might go, oh, actually I want to contact them. So it goes to the contact page, or if they're a new person, maybe they're coming from a social media share, they can also subscribe as well. So basically does a pop-up screen and people can subscribe to your newsletter as well. Of course, all the disclaimer information there, as well as the privacy policy. And this links back to his main website. So if I go to Pilot here, or to the main website there, it basically goes to their main website. So everything links back to their website. So everything points back to you. And from here, they've actually got, this is their website. This is their own website. And there's a news link there. So news is basically they've changed something there. Here we are. Okay, here we go. Go to news there. So this is basically where the news page is. So the two sites talk to each other. So there's a new news page plus an email newsletter page. So that's basically how I guess the basic product of Feedsy, which is the newsletter, works. And I'll go through more details how that works in more details. There's a whole lot of different stories here. There's really cool things like we call this fancy data, which is basically really cool ways of looking at usually pop culture interesting things, but it could also be other things as well. This is a cool one. So it shows the biggest companies since 1993. So basically goes through this animated thing, just showing all the different companies over time. And it's almost like watching a race. Who's going to be the most popular company at the end of the race here? So it's just a fun with all different sorts of content. There's more entertaining content. There's economic content. There's lifestyle content. I'll go through that in more detail in a minute. So that's I guess the newsletter part of things, and I'll show you the social media sharing stuff in a minute. Okay. Oh, it's time for another poll. I love these polls. Okay, this is another question. This time, all right. So I need to close that. So normally Steve does the polls. So I'm getting used to the polls. Here we go. Poll 2. Here we go. Launch poll. So I'm just curious, do you use anything like Feedsy to auto send newsletters at the moment? So do you actually use Feedsy, something like Feedsy? Okay, so, all right, interesting. Okay, so most of you actually don't have a newsletter at the moment. So this could be great news for you, because the good thing about Feedsy is it's super easy. It hardly requires any time at all. So it's sort of something that's really easy to do. It doesn't take up much of your time. In fact, one of our mantras is saving people time. So we always like to save you time. So how it works, how to set it up, and how to use. So this video sort of shows you, I guess, the workflow of Feedsy. So I'll quickly play this video. It's only a quick video, a minute video, and it sort of shows you how Feedsy works. I'm not sure we can hear it or not. So I guess that sort of shows you an overview of sort of the ecosystem, I guess, of Feedsy. Just go through it sort of step by step. As I said before, the stories begin here. So you basically choose a story mix. You choose a mix of stories that best suits your brand and best suits your business. So there's about 20 categories to choose from, actually over 20 categories to choose from. A mixture of finance and business and lifestyle and property and insurance and all sorts of things. In fact, with Resilium, we also feed Steadfast Insurance, and also we also now got to announce actually that we actually now feed Resilium Insights content. So from the Resilium website itself, we can now feed that content into the feeds as well. So that only goes to Resilium customers, but yes, we also can now feed Resilium content. So there's some really good insurance stuff there, as well as other stuff as well. Yeah, so on our basic plan, our normal plan, you get 10 different categories. On our light plan, you get one category. So you can choose to go just for one category, maybe just insurance, or maybe for more of a general one with our 10, which means you sort of capture more people's interest, because some people may not want to see insurance all the time. They might actually just like hearing about travel or something. Although travel right now is a bit difficult, I guess, maybe it's different ways of looking at travel. We also provide bonus content. So I showed you before that fancy data. So that's a bonus content you can get for no extra fee. We do TED Talks as well. And also we do inspirational quotes too, which is really, these are very, very popular on Facebook. These are bonus freebies you can get. You can choose to have them or not have them in your plan, entirely up to you. And then what happens is once a month, the 10 stories at the top of the list here get sent, getting compiled into an email newsletter and sent off once a month, without you having to do anything at all. Now you can get involved, you can do rearranging, you can rearrange how these stories look, you can change the order of the stories, you can remove stories, you can add your own stories, and I'll show you that in a minute, how easy that is to do. But all you're gonna do is just make sure your stories are in the right order before the email goes out. You're in full control. You can always pause your sending whenever you like. So if you want to add a story desperately, or you're not happy with something, you can just pause it. Wait till something's you're happy with it being fixed up or whatever. Maybe change the order of things, or maybe you put in your Christmas message that you wanted to put in. Then you basically send a support ticket off to us, so we can reschedule it for you, no problems at all. So you're in full control. I'd say most of our clients set it on autopilot. They don't do much at all. They let this rely on the most recent stories going out. Whereas some do get involved and they write their own stories. I might drag and drop stories from maybe the beginning of the month to the top of the story here. So it's the first story that goes out. But I'll show you how that works in a minute, so it makes more sense. So you can be as involved as you like. And then everything that gets sent out gets measured. So you'll be able to see all the opens and clicks. Opens are people actually open an email, actually clicking on something inside the article. So it's not unusual to to get a click rate of around about 10%, because there's 10 stories, so they're probably picking one of those 10 stories, not all those stories. Because I guess you think about, if you're reading a newspaper online on your phone, you're probably only picking one or two stories to read. You're actually probably skim reading the topics. But the most important thing is that you are there. Your brand's in front of them. You are showing your customers that you care about them, to send them some information that they might find interesting. This is about keeping your brand in front of people as much as possible, and having that contact button right in front of them. In fact, we find the contact button is probably the most clicked thing out of everything. You can also see here, what is being clicked. You actually can see what articles are being clicked. Then you can see a person. You can see, okay, what's that person been doing? How many emails have they opened or clicked? What articles are they actually reading? So if you've got a prospect in here, you better see how keen they are. What sort of articles they're reading. Maybe they've unsubscribed. So you go, oh, they've unsubscribed. Maybe, or why they've unsubscribed? Maybe I should give them a call and find out why. So it's a really good way of sort of looking at your prospects and seeing how active they are, but also seeing overall how well your things are, how well your things are actually performing. So setting up's really easy. We hold your hand. It's basically like a 20-minute session, probably maximum, maybe even less, depending on what plan you go for. And on our website, there's a getting started link. There's a need help choosing. That basically is a Calendly link. Again, we love Calendly. It's basically you book in a session for us to help you get started. We put aside 30 minutes, but often it doesn't take that long. So it's a way of we help you hold your hand. It's basically an online form that you're filling out, and we can help you do that as well. It's pretty easy. If most of the stuff is on your website, like your disclaimer stuff and your privacy policy and that sort of thing, it's really easy. We just basically copy and paste them for you. But yeah, it's really up to you. It's really quite easy. We make it really easy for you. And then you need to upload subscribers. We then have an onboarding plan that happens. We have sort of give you emails as reminders of things to do. One is to upload your subscribers. So we actually do manage your subscribers. We have a privacy policy and terms and conditions that make sure your subscribers are very protected. They're only ever seen by your client. So we never ever see. We never use our subscribers for anything other purposes. We never actually email directly to your subscribers unless you're doing it through your channel. If you ever leave Feedsy, they go with you. That's yours to keep. So your subscribers are very safe. And I know that the Resilium people are very happy with the way it works, because emails get sent from your email address, not our email address. So we've got compliance approval for that. So there's not a problem with Resilium. As I said before, we've got many people from Resilium using our product, and they love it. And we also provide you free training, which is going to be very similar to what I'm about to show you, actually, but it's going to be a bit slower, and we get a chance to talk a bit more. But we give you training for free. If somebody new joins the organisation and wants to maybe take over the Feedsy, they can get free training as well. It's free training whenever you want it. It's unlimited. And then we also get unlimited support for free as well. So give you free support if you ever need a hand. So what Feedsy does, it actually gives you, I guess, an automated marketing calendar. This is all done for you. You don't have to do anything. This is all done for you. What happens is your newsletter by default is set to go out in the first first Tuesday of the month. So that's the default settings. We usually like to avoid public holidays. That's why we do a Tuesday. You can change it to another day, but that's the default setting. What happens is then every Wednesday, new stories are provided. So new stories arrive to your Feedsy web, your web page, and you get 10 stories or 1 story, depending on what plan you're on. And they arrive every Wednesday. And then you get a reminder the next morning saying, hey, new stories have arrived. Do you want to do something with them? Do you want to review them or share them? Or do nothing at all? You can just ignore the message if you want. But if we go, oh yeah, my new stories have arrived, now's a good time to do some social media sharing. And I'll show you how that works in a minute. It's really simple. So that's basically, you can do that every week. So it's like, okay, every Thursday morning, we're going to do my social media. New stories have arrived, I'm going to go and share them now. And then what happens is on that last Friday before that Tuesday here, we give you one more reminder saying, hey, your newsletter is going out on the first Tuesday of the month. Do you want to maybe write a story? Do you want to maybe do some rearranging? Do you want to do anything? If not, the top 10 stories will go out. But if you do want to get involved, maybe rearrange, put number 11 into number 10, or rearrange things, you can. So we give you a reminder there. So therefore, you've got Friday, Monday, and basically Monday night to do your thing before it goes out. Again, like I said before, you can actually pause it before it goes out and get it sent some other time. But yeah, otherwise it just goes out automatically for you. So we give you enough time to then to do your stuff here. But this is sent to you by email, so you don't need to worry about putting it into your diary. We send you emails about this. Also here too, one of our other products is a Net Promoter Score, which is that question where you ask people, from 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend it to a friend? It's a really good way, it's an industry standard, global way that big brands use to find out how you're doing, to sort of find referral opportunities, but also to get great feedback and great testimonials, and to sort of help you improve your business by finding out maybe what some of the weaknesses are, or if someone's got a problem, they get a chance to voice it. It's quite private, just between you and them, and you can then help them solve the problem. At least you know about it. So it's another product called Net Promoter Score, which is not part of the basic plan, but it's something we cool to do as well. And that can be automated to go every quarter automatically for you, or you can do it manually as well. So this is sort of what you'll be seeing for those reminders. This is a weekly reminder here, and it has like a black button. You push the black button if you want to review or add stories, or do nothing at all. Even suggest here that you might want to share them on social media. So you can do 3 things. You can click on that button there and start sharing stories on social media. You can review, rearrange, or add your own stories, or do nothing at all. Just let the whole thing take care of it itself for you. So I'm going to show you how this looks. I'm going to click on this now, and it'll take me to a previously logged in page. So I've already logged in here before. So if you're logged in before, you'll stay logged in. But you might need to log in if you haven't been here for a while. And it takes you straight to the story page, the story list. So this actually is what we call the back end. This is the back side of your website, the back door. These are all the stories. And you'll see if I click up here and I go visit site, and I go right click, so I can open the tab. So now I've got that tab and that tab open. That's the back door. And this is what we call the front door, or the front end. This is actually what people see. So you can see here, total here again, inspiration and invitation. Now you go, why is that story there? This is the order here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1. But why is that test story there? It's because it's sticky. So I actually got to make it unsticky. We often use this site here for our training, and usually I show what's sticky. Sticky is a way of actually making a story stick to the #1 spot. Each state is the first story people see all the time. So I'm actually going to quickly unstick that. So it's the right order. So there's a sticky thing there. We showed this in the training, and now it's updating. Things go a bit slow when I'm on Zoom because of bandwidth issues. Normally I blame the kids because they're on the Xbox, but there's no kids here today. They're at school. All right. I might just refresh the page. That's still sticky. Do it again. Yep, there it is. So now I've go to my stories. And I go back to here again, I refresh the page, you'll see that won't be there anymore because it's not sticky anymore. It's gone down to where it belongs. It's gone down the list. But what I can do, I can say, okay, tomorrow the email is going to go out. So I want there's a story band down here I love. Yeah, Australians recovering from virus trauma. I actually want to have that as number one story. So I'm actually going to grab that and drag it up here. All right, now if I refresh the page, you'll see that's the first story. Now, if you want to see how your email will look when it goes out, you just make your screen smaller, and the first 10 stories are the stories that are going to go out. So the first 10 stories here are the ones that are going to be going out. Number 11 won't go out, only the first 10. And if you're only on one story a week, which means you're only getting 4 stories a month, you only send 4 or 5, depending on how many there are that month. What it doesn't do, it never sends out the same story twice. So if a story's already been sent out, it won't get sent out again. So just make sure that you don't repeat stories. Not that that's a disaster, but it just means that just people don't get fatigued with seeing the same stories over and over again. That's basically how you can rearrange the stories. To review a story, you go, actually, this story here, treasurer extends instant asset write-off. I don't want that almost thing. I'm gonna trash that. I don't like it at all. The story's gone. So that story gets added to your trash. It goes to your trash can up here. So in your trash, you always get it back. If you do it by mistake, you can always get it back again. So that's how you can trash a story. But if you just drag it out of the top 10, it won't go by email. It will stay on your web page, which might be a useful asset for other purposes, but it just won't be sent in the email newsletter. What I can do too is I can say add a story. I want to add a story now. So also, if you want to read a story, you can obviously go here and read the story, so you can read it and check it out. But now I'm going to add a story. So you may occasionally want to add a story. So I'm going to add a story here. You can go add new there. You can go add new there as well. There's different ways of adding. You can add new. I'm using this one here. And I'm going to quickly put a story in that I prepared earlier. So I'm going to just quickly copy and paste. I'm just copying and pasting some text in here. So I'm not an amazing type. There's some good news. Another month closer to life beyond COVID-19. And I'm going to put in some text here. Copy and paste it in here. All right, get rid of some spaces. Now, so this is what I'm doing here. I'm actually doing what's called an intro story. So it's actually, I'm going to do a story as the first story in my newsletter that it will have a video from me talking about this. Now, you don't need to use video. This can just be a static photograph, but we often recommend having a photograph of yourself as the first story is a really good way of actually personalizing your news, and it helps people connect with you as a brand. They get to know you as a person. You almost become like a newsreader to them. You know how familiar newsreaders are. I remember I used to live across the road from the Weather Bureau, and I kept seeing these people go, I know that person's face. I know. One time I actually said, did we go to school together? She said, no, I'm the news presenter from Channel 7. I went, oh, that's why I know you from. News presenters become very familiar faces. So it's a good way of becoming a familiar face. So this thing here, I've said, we put together some articles to help us get through this as well, blah, 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 blah. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to hyperlink some articles. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to hyperlink the website. I'm actually going to hyperlink the news page. I'm actually going to put a little link in here. So you can go link. So if people click on that, they'll go to my news webpage and they'll see the most recent stories. And I go contact us. I want people to email us. So I'm going to go link. I'm going to go maybe a generic email address. feedsy.info. Okay. All right. So there's an email address in there. So now, usually add a picture. So you add a picture here by going set featured image. It's pretty easy. But I'm going to show a really cool thing. I'm going to actually add in a YouTube link. So up here, this is something that my partner has. Right, that's the video he's made, which is an intro. I'm actually going to copy and paste the link there. This is pretty cool. I'm going to paste that right here. Watch this. Boom. It actually embeds the YouTube clip for you. So I don't need a picture. That is the picture. Then I go down here. I often will use blogs for our own articles. So we'll go through this in training in more detail, and I'm going to put video as a category. Just makes it easier. This is pretty more of a thing for training to show you why this is a good idea. Video format, and then you can go save a draft, so you can go get someone to check it before it goes live, or I can preview it, or I can just simply publish it. So I'm going to simply publish it just to go a bit faster here. All right, now I can maybe have a bit of a preview of it. So I can go preview. And there you go. There's the articles there. There's a contact link there. There's the video there, so people can watch the video. So we now go back to the home page. And I refresh the screen again. That's now the #1 story. Oh, it's going to be weird there. Refresh it again. There you go. So if the email went out now, that'll be the first story. That'll be the welcome story. And if people open it and they'll share it on social media, which I'll show you in a minute how that works. If you share it in social media, then people might go, oh, what are these articles he's talking about? Click on the article, click on the link there, and it'll actually open up the news page. People go, oh, you got some great stories here. You're a really cool guy. So that's how you can sort of use video, I guess, to personalize and almost become the newsreader, if you like. Again, it's totally optional. Like I said, most of our clients don't do their own content, but those who do get better results. They definitely get better engagement. There's no doubt about it, because people like to see stuff from their advisor. And you can see how easy it was to create it. You just go title, text, tick a category, add a photograph, bang, you're done. It's pretty easy. So all the setting is done now. So this is done, say this is like 5 minutes before the newsletter was due to go out. Then in 5 minutes time, the newsletter will go out with these 10 stories here. These 10 stories here will go out. So it's pretty easy. You don't need to do any sending. The sending is automatic. That's the beauty about Feedsy. There's no sending to do. It's all done for you. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show you how to maybe share this on social media. So I'm going to open up the story here and show how easy it is to share something on social media. So if you go down to the bottom of the article here, you've got some sharing icons. So I'm going to go to, say, Facebook. Now, Facebook is temperamental sometimes. Often it doesn't show you the thumbnail. It does. Sometimes that won't come up. If it doesn't come up, all you need to do is close it and do it again. Sometimes Facebook is just temperamental. It just is. As you can see here, it's going to share this post here, and it's going to share the link back to me here. So this is news.expertprofessional, which is our dummy brand. This could be news.your web address. So actually, so it goes to your domain name. And what I can do, I can say something about it, saying some cool news for you. You got something better than that, perhaps. And you can either share it to, by default, it shares to your personal feed, so it shares to your own profile. So if you're, say Karen, say you're on, this is your website here, and it's your computer, it'll share to Karen's profile. But if you're managing a Facebook page, you can click on here and go to a page that you manage. There you go there. So you can either go to a page, maybe you're hosting multiple pages, maybe one for your netball club, maybe one for your business. Then you basically choose which one you want. But by default, you usually choose your business one. You post as Feedsy, or you can post as yourself. But in our case, it's only Feedsy, but you might have different ways of posting. And then you just post it. Just post to Facebook. Simple as that. So that's how easy it is to share stuff on social media. So remember, by default, it shares to your personal profile. You can see my photograph there, or you can go to a page that you manage. All right. So that's actually pretty standard on most websites. I'm going to leave there. That's pretty standard on most websites where you share an article from a newspaper that you read or something. You can also just do an email as well. That just generates an email with a link to the story. You can just send a link to someone very quickly. Twitter and LinkedIn as well. Unfortunately, there's no Instagram. Instagram doesn't allow you to do this, unfortunately. It's just the way Instagram has been set up. So that's how easy it is to share stuff on social media. A quick power tip. If you are using Facebook and you want to schedule something in advance, you can actually go to your Facebook page and go to publishing tools. For some reason, my Facebook has skitty, dodgy things. So you go publishing tools. See, I don't know why it flickers like that. It's bizarre. So publishing tools. It's slow today. And what you do is you go create post. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this. I'm actually going to grab that story again. So grab the story. I'm going to, where am I here? Facebook. I'm going to write something, some cool news. I'm going to paste the URL. It's going to fetch the preview for me. I then usually get rid of the URL so it doesn't display because it's already displayed down here already. And then what you do, you go down here and you go share now. You go, no, I actually wanted to schedule it. I want to schedule it down there. And then you can put a schedule in. So you can sort of put it any time you want, you know. So tomorrow, schedule post. There you go. It's not published, it's actually scheduled. So you can see here it's got published post and scheduled post. So you'll see that's been scheduled for tomorrow. Now I'm going to delete that because that's not a real thing. Delete. That's how you can actually do scheduling in Facebook, which is pretty cool. There are other tools you can use like Hootsuite and things like that. They can do more global scheduling, but that's a really cool one for Facebook. Hopefully that's a good tip for you. All right. So I hope I'm not going too fast for you. Oh, just one more question. Sorry. This is question number 3. I probably should answer this first. But do you currently share stuff from your own blog, or do you share stuff you find online, or maybe you don't share stuff at all on social media, or maybe you're not even on social media? What would be applicable to you? Just to sort of get a feel for, I guess, how relevant that was to you, just so I don't teach it in the future when people don't need it. Are you currently on social media, or yeah, okay, from your own blog, yeah, okay. That's good. Sharing stuff in your own blog is good because it means people come back to you all the time, which is fantastic. Also, if you've got your own blog too, we can work with you to integrate Feedsy with your own blog as well. So you might even be able to share stuff from your blog to your Feedsy as well. So even though we do provide a blog for you, there's things we can do to help you integrate the two together as well, just so you know. Okay, pricing. Okay, we're almost there, guys. So pricing, Calendly is from 0. So I'll show you all the plans for Calendly just quickly. This is a live page because things might change over time. So again, the PowerPoint will have the Google slide deck will have the link to this page. But you can see, basically it's pretty good. You get quite a few things. You only get one event type, so you don't get a choice. You can have those 6 types that I had. You can only have one type. And there are some other restrictions as well. You get Calendly branding. It's just part of it. You can't get rid of it. Although I think it's actually not bad to show that because it's actually nice to sort of show people that you're using a really cool thing. Yeah, but it does most things. We're on the premium plan because we like to have more than one event mainly. And also you can have multiple calendars per user as well. So there's a few more features, but it's only $8 a month US, which is pretty good for the convenience of people booking stuff with you really easily. And then there's Pro, which has the text reminders, and also you can do much more calendars per user. So you might have one of these for your entire business with different calendars there. So you might have a different sort of setup. But yeah, you can sort of see different features here. But a lot of people use basics just for one type event type, whereas we use the premium ourselves. So that's and also you can use it. You can try it free for 14 days as well. But if you try the free trial, trap for young players is if you do a trial thing, you're going to be using the Pro version. You go, oh, this is cool, man. I've just created 6 calendars. It's fantastic. When the trial ends, you go, oh, I don't go back to the basic. You're going to lose all your events apart from one. So often they try to lure you into a false sense of security. So just be careful of that. Okay, so that's basically Calendly, the pricing. And Feedsy, our plans start from $79 a month. So I'll show you that as well. So this is our pricing page. So Communicator, which is what I showed you today, which is basically the email newsletter package, which also you can do social media sharing from as well. There's a setup fee of $660, and then it has $149 for up to 10 stories or 10 categories a week, or $79 for that one or the light category. You can chop and change. You can start here and downgrade. You can go here and upgrade. You can chop and change whenever you like. With the light package too, you have a slight limitation as to how many subscribers you can have for the price. It's only 500, but that can be increased easily by putting an add-on to it. But the full package you can get up to 2,500 recipients, which is usually plenty. So I guess this page, which you have a link to, has all the different things you can get for that. The campaigner plan is this plus this extra features. This is where you get things like you can send more emails per month than just the one. You can send up to 5 different emails per month. You can do manual sends. You get different templates. You can also have what we call birthday mail too. So you can actually have an automated birthday message that goes out once on someone's birthday. Yeah, so it has extra features. Plus, you can do segmentation. So actually, you can do different groups of people. So you can send different emails to different types of people rather than sending the same thing to everybody. So you can do segmentation as well. We help you set that up for you. And also, there's Feedsy Print, which is basically a print version. So you actually create a PDF of your newsletter by just a few clicks. You can sort of choose the stories you want to include, give it a title, go create PDF, and it does it all for you. It's quite quick. It basically do it within about 30 seconds. And then our full package, which is called the Advocator, has all those things. Plus it has referrals, so a referral engine, which is linked to your Net Promoter Score, and also has the Net Promoter Score as well. So basically, it asks people whether they're likely to refer you. If they give you a 9 or a 10, then it goes, hey, why don't you refer someone then? It doesn't say it like that, of course, but basically it sends a link to where they can refer a friend and helps you see that they've actually said they're going to refer a friend, so you can then follow them up too to find out more about that person. That's our Advocator plan. Yeah, so that's our plans. But I decided I was going to have a special offer for you, and I can see I've just got a minute over time, so I'll go very quickly. Get in that poll there. For every Feedsy setup, we will give you 50% off the setup fee, which means the sort of $660, it's only $330 and so forth. So it's half price off the setup fee. We'll give you 60 days until you pay your first subscription. Usually it's 30 days. So usually you pay your setup fee and your first monthly fee is a month later. But we actually will extend that for 2 months. So you get basically a month free. Plus, we'll give you free help setting up your Calendly. So if you're going to use Calendly and you loved it, or want to find out more about it, we'll go through up to maybe 2 hours via Zoom to help you set it up for you. So we'll give you, we'll help you set it up. You've got some questions, and when you talk again, we'll help you through it. So we can help you set up Calendly as well, and even link Calendly to your Feedsy as well. So the only thing we ask of you is we'll give you a link, which is this book now link here, which is basically, again, it's a Calendly page where if you click on there within 48 hours to book a time to get started, then we'll give you this offer here. Now, you don't need to get started within 48 hours. All you need to do is click on that to make a booking within 48 hours. So you might book it for, say, a month's time or 2 weeks' time or whatever. That's fine, as long as you make the booking within 48 hours, we can honor this. Now, there's no obligation. You can change your mind whenever you like. So if you go, like, I booked it, I've changed my mind, or I'm too busy that day, not a problem at all. We'll still honor this if you need to change the date. But all we ask you is to make that booking in 48 hours, so we know you're interested, and that way we can hold it for you. Hold the special coupon code for you. So look, I really hope that's been beneficial to you. There hasn't been too many questions, which hopefully means it was all pretty straightforward. But if you've got any questions, by all means, send me an email. You'll be getting an email from me shortly with the slide deck. So just send this to reply to the email with any questions you might have, or click on the lookout for the link to book now. So we'll include this link too in the email that we send out to you for you to click on to make the booking to secure your deal. But again, there's no pressure. You can book it for, I think we go, 2 or 3 months in advance as far as you can go. But you can book it in advance via Calendly and get started then. So I really hope this has been helpful. Keep a lookout for other special offers, but yes, we do love the Resilium group. We love the content that Resilium provides you, so we'd like to help you get that out to your clients as well. You're a good group. You're doing a great job. You're doing a really hard job at the moment. I know a lot of you guys are really finding it really hard with some of the changes that are happening, as well as the COVID, to be on top of that. So keep up the good work. Hopefully we can save you some time.